I know you're gonna dig this.
Okay, this weekend there are 8 new films out for you to choose from at the cinema. So I'll get straight on with the first, the Bad Education movie. The Bad Education is Jack Whitehall's sitcom from BBC Three, which I hugely enjoyed, but which came to an end after 3 series. Presumably it was set over 3 terms of the same year, and as he said goodbye to his form, all mournful like. It's strange because even though most of them, they'd still be attending the same school the following year, just another class up. Anywho, that still doesn't stop a potential movie spin-off, as they all head abroad for a summer holiday a la The Inbetweeners. And given how much money that made, why not try to emulate it? Especially since BBC Three is on its way out. Hit or miss?
Engage at will.
My willy's gone inside me.
Next up we have Vacation. What, no proper title this time round? And it sees Rusty Griswold, Ed Helms from the first 3, well, the only 3 Hangover films and hopefully no more, taking his own family on a road trip to Wally World in order to spice things up with his wife and reconnect with his sons. It also stars Christina Applegate, Leslie Mann, Elizabeth Gillies, Beverly Angio, Skylar Gazondo, God, what sort of name is that? Nick Kroll, did they make these names up? Charlie Day, Keegan-Michael Key, definitely making that name up, and Chris Hemsworth. Now the original films were classics, and this looks great from the trailer, but to go the full distance, it's got a lot to live up to. The trailer also shows Chevy Chase up very briefly, and I hope he's in the film a lot more than that, but this sort of thing is usually a good indicator that he won't be. Some pointless trivia for you. The Vacation franchise began in 1983 and had a sequel 2 years later, another sequel 4 years later, and another sequel 8 years later. And the development for this sequel started in 2013, so that's 16 years later. Now, Vacation was originally due for release on November the 13th in the UK, but it's now out this Friday. However, it also has 2 directors, John Francis Daley and Jonathan M. Goldstein, which is never a good sign. On balance, however, and based on the trailer, hit or miss?
How about some tunes?
Sinister 2 follows on from the 2012 original, this time with a young mother and her twin sons moving into a rural house that's marked for death. Yes, death. As houses usually are. You know how it is. You know how it is? You're lucky. There's a fair few grisly looking events in this horror sequel trailer, but nothing scary whatsoever. And it's a good example of when a bad Hollywood has run out of ideas. I mean, the first Sinister looked so tedious that I didn't bother with it, but originality was never Hollywood's strong point. This sequel stars Shannon Sossamon in the lead role. Yeah, Shannon Sossamon. You remember her, right? No? Well, that's understandable. I mean, her last big film was also her first, A Knight's Tale, co-starring the late Heath Ledger, all the way back in 2001. Like I say, I haven't seen the first one, and it looked terrible and scare-free, and based on this trailer, that will not change for the sequel. Hit or miss? Next up we have Strange Magic, which is yet another CGI kids film. Seems to be at least one of these every bloody week. This time with goblins, elves, fairies and imps and their misadventures sparked by a battle over a powerful potion. Inspired by A Midsummer Night's Dream, popular songs from the past 6 decades help tell the tale of this with a colourful cast. Sounds thrilling, doesn't it? But it features a cast including Alan Cumming, Evan Rachel Wood, Kristen Chenoweth, Alfred Molina and Peter Stormare, who's in everything. It's also a creation of George Lucas. He who brought us Star Wars. But he who also brought us Jar Jar Binks. He's so silly. It's also worth noting that this film was released in the US a whole 7 months ago, so it can already be imported on Blu-ray and DVD. Hit or miss?
Whoa!
Escobar, Paradise Lost. It's set in Colombia, where young surfer Nick Hutchison? His name's just Nick, but he's played by Josh Hutcherson from those bloody Hunger Games films. Yes, there's only one more of those to tolerate before it finishes, thank God. He meets the woman of his dreams and then meets her uncle, Pablo Escobar, played by Benicio del Toro. Also starring Brady Corbett and Claudia Trizac. More made-up names, it sounds like. This didn't grab me at all, despite Del Toro's presence. He's normally good. This, oh, God no. Hit or miss? Do you need me to tell you? Yes, if you make me go and see this.
I will kill you!
So we have Pressure, which is centred around a group of men who are trapped in a small pod on the seabed after diving down to fix an oil pipeline and becoming separated from their ship. So basically it sounds like a British rip-off of the so-so Pioneer from 2013, starring headhunters Askell Henny. This version features Danny Houston. I mean, he can't save his life. Okay, his dad was John Houston, you know, but Danny Houston, where's his talent? Nepotism. It also stars Matthew Good, Joe Cole, Joey King, Caleb Landry Jones and model Daisy Lowe, obviously trying to get in on the movie act a la Cara Delevingne. Why is she in there? Anything? Anyway, this trailer, it isn't at all interesting. So hit or miss? Yeah.
Why don't we stabilize?
I don't know why we're not stabilizing.
Because we're in one hell of a storm, that's why.
We're dropping at speed. Full stop on the belt. Brace yourselves, please.
Next up we have Gemma Bovery. Now Martin, Fabrice Lucchini, an ex-Parisian well-heeled hipster, doesn't look like a hipster, passionate about Gustave Flaubert, who settled into a Norman village as a baker, sees an English couple moving into the small farm nearby. Not only are the names of the new arrivals Gemma and Charles Bovery, played by Gemma Arterton and Jason Fleming, but the behaviour also seems to be inspired by Flaubert's heroes. Also starring Isabel Chandelier, Nils Ryder? Let's call the whole thing off. Mel Radio, and Elsa Zibelstein, plus also the Saboteurs Pip Torrens. I just don't go a whole bunch on romantic dramas, so yeah. Hit or miss?
Charlie, can we talk? There's something I need to tell you.
I don't want to hear it.
Finally, we have Good People, which stars James Franco and Kate Hudson as Tom and Anna, a young couple who discover a load of cash stashed away in their dead tenant's apartment. Since these two are hideously in debt, they take the money and find themselves a target of a deadly adversary, the thief who stole it. Also starring Odyssey's Anna Friel, plus Omar Sy and Tom Wilkinson with a dodgy American accent, as he seems to do an awful lot of these days. What starts off as it looks kind of interesting at first, but soon ends up looking rather cliched indeed, and you just know exactly how this one's going to pan out. Since Good People, it was first announced in May 2014 and eventually had a limited US release in September that year, but it's taken 15 months in total to see the light of the UK, of day in the UK since the trailer was first released. That is not a good sign. Hit or miss? Yeah.
This could be really bad.
Okay, so the films to watch this week are The Bad Education Movie and Vacation. See you next week. Well, you won't see me. Good thing, probably.
What are you making him do exactly?
Teabag a swan.
This got weird quickly.